So hello students, welcome back to revision time. I hope you all are good. So as I have started with acid, bases and salts, today I am going to continue with that chapter only. So for the part 1, you can check the link in description box or in the iCards. Also if you want these notes, do mail in the mail address given in the description box. So far we have seen what are acids and what are bases, what are the indicators and reactions of acids and bases, and we have discussed about pH and use of pH in daily life. So let us continue and see what do acids and bases they have in common. So first of all acids have hydrogen ion in common and all bases have hydroxyl ion in common. So this is the basic concept of differentiating acids and bases. Also, the tendency to conduct electricity, it is common for all the acids and bases. So we can have an experiment where we have this beaker here in which we have the aqueous solutions, and these are the nails, they are the iron nails, and this wire setup is there having battery and bulb. So what happens when first of all we use the solution of HCl? What happens? The bulb will glow. HCl, because it is differentiated to ions, that is hydrogen ion and chlorine ion. So these ions, they will conduct the electricity and bulb will glow. Next, when we add the solution of sodium hydroxide, same thing happens because it is dissociated into ions and the bulb will glow. Third, when we use the solution of alcohol or glucose, the bulb doesn't glow here because there is no production of ions and electricity is not conducted. So that means that the acids and bases, they are capable of conducting the electricity. Strength of acids and bases, we have strong acids and weak acids. Similarly, we have strong bases and weak bases. So what are these? Strong acids, they dissociate completely in water and they produce large number of ions, whereas weak acids, they dissociate to small extent and they produce lesser number of ions. So complete dissociation we represent by this arrow, and the incomplete dissociation we represent by this arrow. Similarly, we have strong bases and weak bases and representation is similar. So for examples, we have these, this is the strong acid and this is the weak acid, and this is the strong base and weak base. Concentration of acid or base. So what is concentration? It is the number of ions of acids, that is H positive ion, and for bases OH negative ion, present per unit volume of solution. This is the main point, present per unit volume of solution. So what is the effect of dilution on the concentration? So when we add water, for example, when we add water to acid, the concentration, it decreases, and vice versa it also happens. If we add acid to acid only, the concentration of ions, it will increase. Similarly, if we add water to base, the concentration of OH negative ions, it will decrease, but if we add base only, the concentration, it will increase. It is a very obvious and a common sense concept, but it is important. Next, we have salts. We all know salts are formed through neutralization reactions upon the reaction of acid and base. So we have some situations when a salt, it is formed by the strong acid and strong base. So that means upon dissociation it will produce strong acid and strong base, and this is the example. Salt can also be produced from strong acid weak base, weak acid strong base, and weak acids and weak bases. So these are the situations of the formation of salts, and we have examples also. So there's nothing to explain here, but you all have to learn the examples. It is your work and your practice to learn the examples. So next we have some important chemical compounds. In this, first we have sodium hydroxide. The formula is NaOH. And how is it prepared? It is prepared by the electrolysis of brine solution. Brine solution is nothing but the saturated sodium chloride solution. Sodium chloride is common salt. So upon sodium chloride electrolysis, what happens? We have sodium hydroxide, we have hydrogen gas, and we have chlorine gas, right? This is evolved. So this is the setup here. So we have NaCl solution here. This is the anode and this is the cathode. So H positive will go to the cathode, Cl will go to the anode. So now what are the uses of these products formed? First is chlorine. Chlorine is used for the purification of drinking water. It is a disinfectant. Next, chlorine is also used to prepare the bleaching powder and in pesticides. Hydrogen it is used as fuels. It is used in the formation of ammonia. Ammonia it is a fertilizer of soil fertilizer. Next we have uses of sodium hydroxide. It is a basic compound, so it is used in the soaps and detergents. It is used in paper industry and the formation of artificial fibers. Second compound we have is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, the formula is CaOCl2. This is calcium oxychloride. So this is the chemical name. This also you have to remember, and bleaching powder it is the common name. How is it prepared? Through the chlorine only. It is prepared through chlorine only, and first we will write the preparation of chlorine using the previous reaction, and then this chlorine along with calcium hydroxide it forms the bleaching powder. And where are these bleaching powders used? First in the textile industry for the bleaching cotton and fibers. Paper industry for bleaching the wood pulp. Paper is produced from the wood pulp. In the chemical industry it is used as the oxidizing agent, and also because there is presence of chlorine, so it is also used in the disinfection of drinking water. Third compound we have is baking soda. This is a very familiar name. So the formula is NaHCO3. This is sodium bicarbonate. So how it is prepared? So we have ammonia and carbon dioxide. Combinedly it is known as ammoniated carbon dioxide. And then we have brine solution, that is nothing but NaCl and water. So upon their reaction we get sodium bicarbonate and we get ammonium chloride. So this process it is known as the Salvage process. So you all must be wondering about baking powder also. So baking powder is nothing, they both are different things. Baking powder is consisting baking soda along with tartaric acid. So we have baking soda here. When we heat baking soda, we will get sodium carbonate and there will be evolution of carbon dioxide and water. So this is the process that we used in baking. So this sodium carbonate produced, it is a weak base having bitter taste, and carbon dioxide it is used for making the bakery products that are soft and spongy. Also the tartaric acid it is used to neutralize the sodium carbonate, this sodium carbonate which is produced by the heating of baking soda, right? So what are the uses of baking soda? We all know antacids, we studied in the previous lecture, and they are also used in the fire extinguishers. Next we have washing soda. Washing soda is sodium carbonate decahydrate. So this here it is the water of crystallization. We will discuss further. So sodium carbonate decahydrate, it is also prepared through the Salvage process only. So till here we prepared earlier. If we add water to this sodium carbonate, then we will get washing soda. Washing soda it is used in the glass industry, soap industry, paper industry. It is domestic purpose cleaning agent. It also removes the permanent hardness of water, right? So last is the plaster of Paris, POP. We also are familiar with this compound. So it is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Hemi because we have half molecule of water here. So how is it prepared? It is prepared from the compound known as gypsum. This is a hard compound, gypsum. This is calcium sulfate with 2 water of crystallization, 2 molecules of water of crystallization. So what happens? If we heat gypsum at 100 degrees centigrade, we will get POP with half water molecule, and 1.5 water molecule will be separated, right? But if the temperature is more than 100, we will get anhydrous calcium sulfate. That means These two water will be separated, and we will get calcium sulfate, which is anhydrous, that is without water. So this is known as dead burnt plaster, right? And this is POP. So this is why we are suggested to keep the POP in the dehydrated anhydrous situations, right? So what are the uses? We all know that it is used for building decoration in the houses or in the offices, right? For the plastering fractured bones, and it is used in the toys and decoration pieces. So now water of crystallization. So number of water molecules present in one formula unit of compound, right? This is the one formula unit, and we have 5 water of crystallization here. So this basically is blue vitriol. And upon heating, the water molecules, they will be separated, and we will have anhydrous copper sulfate, which is colorless. So when they were water of crystallization, it was blue in color, but it was colorless upon heating. So these also we have come across. These are the water of crystallizations here, right? So this was all about this lecture. I hope you liked it. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.